touched by a defender. But we're saying all of that while they're 4-0. We're talking about what's wrong with the Rams, and they have 2 losses. You're talking about what's wrong with other teams because they lose football games. Even with some of the things they've been dealing with, they're finding ways to win, and that's what makes me confident.
I don't know if we call those champagne problems, Cam, but give me the quarterback here, because this team is undefeated, yet they're struggling with their passing offense. Is it on Jalen Hurts to get it right here? Because last I checked, he's still targeting A.J. Brown a lot.
Yeah, but not enough. And, you know, when I'm looking at from a quarterback's lens of when I see the Philadelphia Eagles play, I kind of agree with Drew Brees here. It is boring, but it's also effective. I can guarantee you that A.J. Brown's route tree is going to be as simple as anybody in the NFL with his skill set. But they're still 4-0. Okay, let's talk about facts. Well, when you play Dallas, if CeeDee Lamb catches 2 of the 4 drops, are we still having this conversation? Okay, you play LA, if you don't block a field goal, are we still having this type of conversation? Okay, when you play Tampa Bay without Baker Mayfield with the costly interception, are we still having this conversation? And I know, I get it, I'm gonna beat everybody to the punch and say a game of what ifs. They're still 4-0. But my point that I'm making is this. A lot of teams have been letting them off the hook. And we know Philadelphia does not need help. They are one of the best, if not the best, football team in the NFL as defending champs, and rightfully so. And I've went on record, and I will keep saying it. The Philadelphia Eagles is a team that does less with more, and I think that's the most frustrating thing about this whole situation when you're analyzing a team as a whole, as they are still winning.
Well, excuse me that less is a Super Bowl championship. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, we underachieved and won the Super Bowl. Gosh dang it. It's so good. It's so much better to be lucky than good, obviously. I get it. It is ugly. Drew's right. It is boring. But it's effective. Now, do you go back to the film and you watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game and the way that Benjamin Morrison was playing at the right corner, what we saw from Parrish in the slot, and say, wait, these 2 rookies are breaking up passes on A.J. Brown? Are we going to get him some low crossers? Are we going to get him some quick screens? Are we going to get him some condensed splits and run some over routes where he can run away from leverage? This does have to change, Cam. I am not saying in any way that you're wrong by your assessment of saying that they have to be better. They have to be more creative. Because the truth is this. The Philadelphia Eagles don't have a roster that's just supposed to go 4-0. They got a roster that's supposed to win a Super Bowl. And if you fall short of that because of lack of creativity, lack of explosiveness, lack of diversity on the offensive side of the football, that's a failure. And that has to change. I'm saying I'm confident that they can get it fixed. And I think that starts with Nick Sirianni, who we don't give enough credit as the head coach of this team.
I mean, we go back and forth of what needs to happen and what's not happening. But we do know that if the teams that they play against do what they're supposed to do outside of certain things happening, it's like the Philadelphia Eagles aren't 4-0. And even though I do want to root for them, and I'll have this ongoing cultural debate with my dog Gilly, the truth is the play selection and how you're using A.J. Brown is bland. It is simple. It's like, yo, put him in motion. Yo, get him out of just this typical X receiver isolation. All right, move him in a way where now he can have some type of switch releases or certain things like that. And it really has a cause for concern. We all know, and I've said this ad nauseum, we all know that Jalen Hurts is well and capable, but Jalen Hurts is never asked to consistently win games with his arm. And you do play the addition to one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the NFL right now, is Saquon. And he's had minimal production over the last couple of weeks. So I'm extremely concerned. It's like, yo, it's a good problem to have, but we're constantly seeing you get bailed out, and that's my issue.
Guys, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. right? That's the first thing. And secondly, it's this. I get it. Yeah, what we're talking about right now at 4-0, we're saying that the best running back in the world is not producing. We're saying that one of the top 5 to 10 wide receivers in the world is not producing. We're saying that a Super Bowl MVP is not producing. And we're also saying, but dang it, the Philadelphia Eagles are 4-0. It needs to be fixed. I believe it will be fixed. But there's something to be said for not beating yourself, because that's what you're saying these other teams are doing.
I think you guys are overcomplicating it. I think we need to go back to what happened last year when they got a theme song, Bobby Brown's My Prerogative. Remember, they beat Carolina and there were all these issues, and then they start playing that song at every practice. It becomes a part of their identity, and look what happens. They won a Super Bowl after that. That's just
Bobby Brown is pure energy, so I respect that totally.
Me too. All right, the Ravens might be without Lamar Jackson when they host the Texans on Sunday, as the star QB has missed practice the last 2 days with a hamstring injury. Baltimore hoping to avoid its second 1-4 start in franchise history. And on yesterday's show, RC had some strong comments about the state of the Ravens. Take a listen.
When's the last time we didn't care about the Baltimore Ravens? When was the last time with Lamar Jackson, under John Harbaugh, that we weren't talking about this team being an AFC
Why though?
championship contender? Because this team is terrible. Lamar Jackson, one of the greatest, he's one of the best players in the world, who until last game was actually playing at a high level. And you only have a win against the Cleveland Browns? Who cares if they make the playoffs? They ain't gonna win.
So RC is in a state of apathy on this, Cam. Where do you land?
Well, one thing that I do know, I'm going to use this prefix word of breaking, because they're at a breaking point in their season. Breaking is what I will continue to use, because they're either going to break down or they're going to break out. And if they do not have Lamar Jackson in this particular game coming up, I think that will be a positive. And I say it in this way. It's almost like watching the Baltimore Ravens, that they're waiting on everybody else to make the play. And that's including sometimes Lamar Jackson waiting on Derrick Henry to make a play. Hey, Derrick Henry's waiting on Zay Flowers to make a play. Hey, Zay Flowers is waiting on D-Hop to make a play. Hey, the defense is waiting on Jair Alexander to make a play. Hey, they're waiting on Nate Wiggins to make a play. Hey, they're waiting on everybody else to make a play outside of each individual making those